jump that hurdle in these meetings, which we try and do. So I put back safety on there first. We got a few guys that need to catch up date-wise on back safety. But when I talk about back safety, don't just think about your back. This is going to be kind of particular to do it, but anything that you're doing that's got you in an awkward position, awkward motion, trying to do something that your body's just not made to do can put you in a bad situation. So think about your back for sure, but think about your arms, your legs, your ankles, whenever you're doing something out here on the yard. I've got a daughter at home with a broken shoulder right now from riding what's called a ripstick day before yesterday. So it happens to us pretty quickly. As you get older, you don't fall as well as you used to. So always keep that in mind in whatever surface you're working on or whatever surface you're trying to transition off of to another surface to make sure that you're in a good place. But back safety is vitally important because what it costs the person that has an injury in terms of pain and suffering and not being able to work, what it may wind up costing an organization in terms of money and replacing the employee. So we really need to be mindful because we're dealing with a lot of heavy things out here. And as an organization, we kind of draw the line at 50 pounds. We don't want you trying to lift anything that could jeopardize your back, but it's not just in lifting something heavy. Again, it's in those awkward positions. So the thing to understand about your back, it's like a fulcrum. It's like a seesaw. If the fulcrum was exactly in the middle, it would only take 10 pounds of pressure to lift 10 pounds. But the fulcrum's not centered on your back. They give the average human upper torso 105 pounds of weight, which is most of the body's weight. Factoring that in, putting it off center means every time you bend over to pick something up, you put about 1,100 pounds of pressure on your back. Bending over to pick things up is actually the worst thing you can do for your back. So when we talk about back safety, don't just keep in mind that that 50 pounds is something I need to be mindful of. If I can eliminate bending over all day long to pick up something to paint, if I can paint it on a table, if I can get my work a little closer to the safe lifting zone, which is between my waist and my shoulders, you'll end up with a better day and you'll go home without a sore back. So try to keep that in mind if you see somebody else, because you don't always tell yourself before you're going to grab something. Think of proper lifting techniques, and we all know what they are. Remind if you see other guys on the yard that aren't utilizing proper lifting techniques, how we can go about it without jeopardizing ourselves. The second thing I put on there was PPE. We did get some of the glove charts out. Hand safety is vitally important over here, and hand safety has been this year something that we really haven't had to key on a whole lot. In previous years, it's been something that we had to key on a whole lot. And even with keying on it in some previous years, we still had a lot of hand injuries. The absence of hand injuries means that we're watching where our hands are, fellas. And don't lose sight of the fact that on any given day over here, you could wind up losing a finger, a couple of fingers, or a hand over here with what we deal with. Make sure we select the right kind of gloves. Make sure we keep our hands out of harm's way. Safety glasses at all times when you're doing any kind of work, or if you're out on the yard, make sure your safety glasses are in good shape. You need another pair, come get another pair. We're not going to argue over they're not that bad yet. Come get another pair of safety glasses. Don't work in a pair of scratched up safety glasses. Hard hat, and again, your hard hat is not a lifetime hard hat, fellas. We tell everyone to follow the manufacturer's instructions because different manufacturers, some say 3 years, some say 4, and some say 5. So as a general rule, around 3 years, you should start thinking about getting out of your hard hat. If any component of your hard hat is not functioning properly, that's on the insert, any one of the trailing straps, anything is not working right, come get a new insert or come get a new hard hat. When you need it to do what it needs to do and a part of it's not functioning right, it's not going to work properly. Make sure your steel toe boots are in good shape. What we're looking for is your toe starts getting exposed on them. That's when you need to start thinking about getting another pair. We don't really press on you guys to buy a new pair of boots every year, every 2 years. We kind of leave it up to you. But I can tell you, as somebody that's been doing this work a lot of years, feels good about every year and a half to get another pair of boots. It's a lot easier on your feet. Nice new pair of boots just makes you feel good out there. Beyond those 3 required PPEs that are on the yard, we move into some other issues over here that we're still going to call PPE. Our Tyvek suits. We know that when we're going to be doing some grinding, we can't just rely on our safety glasses. So make sure that we're doing what we need to do out there, fellas. It's pretty cut and dry what the policies are in terms of PPE. And it's pretty cut and dry that the policies were put into effect because it's to keep us from injuring ourselves. The last thing I put on there was fire safety. And just to talk a little bit about extinguishers, had a couple of guys ask me this week. All the charged ones right now are in the shipping and receiving on a pallet. When you walk through the big door, like you're headed to the back, before you hit all the lockers, there's a pallet that's full of charged fire extinguishers. Gonna try and get them today, get them moved back there by Tony, and we'll switch back to the tool room, will be where the fire extinguishers are. Make sure when we're getting ready to do hot work that we move all flammable materials. Make sure when we're doing hot work that we're not using something as a blind that's flammable materials. It's real easy to take that couple of minutes before you get started working to move something out of the way that might become a problem to you. So make sure that we do that. Keep your work areas clean. The shop looks real good. The yard looks real good, fellas. Again, I can't end this meeting without saying good job. Having a real good run with you guys, just watching what you're doing and not having to deal with any injuries. And that's y'all. That's not me. I can't take any credit for it. That's you guys out there doing what you need to be doing. But don't ever think it's not appreciated. And I guess that being said, next Friday is going to be a sausage cake. So we'll take care of that on next Friday. And that's always just kind of an appreciation, fellas. So enjoy the fact that we can come in here and get all this work done. 2 barges here yesterday that we got out of here. We're putting up scaffolding on the chain jacks. There's all kind of bars being worked on over there. The test machine's running wide open. We come in here every day to get all this work done and walk out of here. Not limp out of here, not be carried out of here. It's the same way we got here. Paying attention to what you do. Let's continue that. I think Phil has a couple of words before I end it.
Yeah, I just want to touch on John Greaves and all them guys. They really understand what's going on. They know why we get to work with all of them. That's because y'all guys are the ones out there working, doing the safety, participating in all programs, are doing a great job. There's a numbers indication the first 3 months of this year. We've done good. No, not we. Y'all guys have done good. It's very, very important that y'all participate in the safety program, do the diversify, and the whole 9 yards. And it isn't me, and it isn't John Kay, and it isn't any of them doing this. It's because of y'all. The oil company's got, as we all know, the oil company's got the money. They got the money. The reason we able to work for the oil companies is because of y'all guys. Y'all guys' participation in the safety program has got us to where we are today. We don't think for a second that John Greaves and the higher up don't know that. It's talked about, and they are behind the safety program 100%. Not a little bit, nothing like that. It's 110% behind the safety program. Brad goes with his audit. Brad does a lot of stuff, but none of us do. We just think, oh, he drives through the audit. Not like me. Okay. But he sets in these audits for days with BP, Shell, Chevron, and they just go back and forth talking about this, PPE, hard safety, this and that, you know, and you get good feedback for what we do. And administration part of it, real good. You know, guys,